In the vast, cold emptiness of space, a silent traveler is carrying the last memory of a world that has long since vanished. It was launched by a species that may one day cease to exist, and it's on a journey toward the final ages of the cosmos. This machine is an emissary from a time when a planet called Earth was teeming with life, a world of thought, music, and immense, improbable beauty. This is Voyager 1. But what was at sea in the final dark ages of the universe, and what does its lonely voyage say about the civilization that built it? Right now, this space probe is on an epic one-way trip into the space between stars. But its story doesn't end there. Its true journey has only just begun. The story starts not in the cold of space, but in the minds of dreamers. Back in 1977, humanity had a fleeting opportunity, a celestial alignment of the outer planets so rare it only happens about once every 175 years. This cosmic billiard shot would let a spacecraft visit multiple worlds, using the gravity of each one to slingshot itself to the next. It was the chance to complete a grand tour of the solar system. NASA seized this moment, prepping 2 robotic explorers for a mission unlike any before. They were named Voyager. On September 5, 1977, just over 2 weeks after its twin, Voyager 2 had already left, Voyager 1 sat atop a rocket at Cape Canaveral. Its mission was ambitious: fly by the gas giants Jupiter and Saturn and study their storms, rings, and mysterious moons. The probe's computer memory was tiny compared to today's standards, about 69 kilobytes, but it also had a digital tape recorder that could store much more data. Still, what it lacked in processing power, it made up for with something far more profound. Bolted to its side, shielded by an aluminum cover, was a 12-inch gold-plated copper disc. This was the Voyager Golden Record, a time capsule designed and hoped to last for up to 1 billion years. It was a message in a bottle thrown into the cosmic ocean, a greeting for any intelligent life that might one day find it. The contents were chosen by a committee led by the brilliant astronomer Carl Sagan. Their task was monumental. How do you summarize an entire world on a single record? For nearly a year, Sagan and his team worked to assemble a portrait of humanity. They picked 116 images, showing the diversity of life and culture on Earth, diagrams of our anatomy, athletes in motion, a suspension bridge, and scenes of daily life. There were images of DNA, a fetus in the womb, and a mother nursing her child. The record also held sounds. A montage of the sounds of Earth included volcanoes, surf, thunder, the songs of birds and whales, and a human heartbeat. To this, they added spoken greetings in 55 languages, from ancient Akkadian to modern Mandarin. A message from then U.S. President Jimmy Carter spoke of a world of 4 billion people, a testament to hope and peace. And then there was the music, 90 minutes of it, a global symphony meant to convey human emotion. It included Bach and Beethoven, but also Peruvian panpipes, Senegalese percussion, and the unmistakable rock and roll of Chuck Berry's Johnny B. Good. Some called its inclusion adolescent. Sagan's simple reply was, "There are a lot of adolescents on the planet." Perhaps most poignantly, the record carries an hour-long recording of the brainwaves of Anne Druin, one of the project's key figures, as she thought about Earth's history, civilization, and what it felt like to fall in love. This was the cargo Voyager 1 carried. Not just scientific instruments, but a piece of our collective soul, an artifact that declared, "We were here. This is what we made, what we felt, what we sounded like. Remember us." With a roar that shook the Florida coast, the journey began. Voyager 1's initial mission was a breathtaking success, a whirlwind tour of the solar system's biggest inhabitants. In March 1979, after a year and a half of travel, it arrived at Jupiter, and what it found was chaos. Beautiful, terrifying chaos. Its cameras revealed a planet in constant turmoil. The famous Great Red Spot, a storm wider than 3 Earths, churned with unimaginable power. Winds ripped through the atmosphere at nearly 1,500 kilometers per hour. Voyager painted a picture of a world both magnificent and violent. But the real surprises came from Jupiter's moons. On Io, Voyager's cameras spotted something astonishing: the first active volcanic eruptions ever seen beyond Earth. Plumes of sulfur jetted 100 kilometers into space, a discovery that shattered the idea of moons as cold, dead rocks. Then there was Europa, a world wrapped in a smooth, cracked shell of water ice, hinting at a vast ocean hidden beneath. The spacecraft also measured Jupiter's magnetosphere, a bubble of intense radiation, far more powerful than Earth's. But Voyager wasn't just observing, it was using Jupiter. In a perfect maneuver, the probe stole a tiny bit of Jupiter's orbital energy, a gravity assist that flung it towards Saturn at incredible speed. In November 1980, Voyager 1 reached the ringed planet. It flew closer to Saturn than its sibling would, and its observations were revolutionary. It showed the planet's rings weren't solid bands, but an intricate system of thousands of individual ringlets and gaps, made mostly of water ice particles, from dust-sized specks to boulders. The main target at Saturn, though, was Titan, a moon larger than the planet Mercury. Titan was cloaked in a thick, hazy nitrogen atmosphere, even denser than Earth's. But to get a close look, a sacrifice had to be made. The flyby required a sharp change in trajectory. The massive moon's gravity pulled Voyager 1 up and out of the ecliptic plane, the flat disk where all the planets orbit. This was a fateful decision. While Voyager 2 continued its grand tour to Uranus and Neptune, Voyager 1's planetary mission was over. Its new course was set, a one-way trip out of the solar system and into the vast, empty space between stars. The Explorer had become a wanderer. For a decade after Saturn, Voyager 1 sailed through the dark, silent outer solar system. Its mission was effectively complete. It had rewritten textbooks with every image sent back. But before its systems were powered down, Carl Sagan had one last poetic request. He wanted to turn the cameras around one last time, to take a final look back at home. On February 14, 1990, from 6 billion kilometers away, Voyager 1 did just that. Its cameras captured a family portrait of our solar system. From that immense distance, the giant planets were just small points of light. And there, nestled in a scattered sunbeam, was a single, tiny pixel. A pale blue dot. That dot was Earth. Every war ever fought, every masterpiece ever created, every king and peasant, every mother and father, and every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived right there, on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. All of human history was compressed into that single, almost imperceptible point of light. Sagan later reflected on the image, calling it a demonstration of the folly of our conceits and a reminder of our responsibility to cherish the only home we have ever known. The image was a humbling, existential masterpiece. Soon after, to conserve its dwindling power for the long journey ahead, Voyager 1's cameras were shut down forever. The spacecraft that had shown us the wonders of the outer planets was now blind. Its mission was shifting from active observation to passive existence. It was no longer a photographer, but an ambassador, carrying its golden record into the great unknown. Voyager's journey was far from over. It continued its relentless push outward, toward a boundary no human-made object had ever crossed. For decades, it traveled through the heliosphere, a vast protective bubble created by the solar wind, a stream of charged particles flowing from our sun. This bubble shields our solar system from the harsh radiation of interstellar space. But it has an edge. Far from the sun, the solar wind's pressure weakens until it's finally balanced by the pressure of the interstellar medium, the gas and dust between stars. This boundary is the heliopause. Crossing it means leaving the sun's domain and officially entering interstellar space. For years, scientists watched the data, waiting for the signs. Then, on August 25, 2012, it happened. Voyager 1, now more than 18 billion kilometers from home, crossed the threshold. The evidence was unmistakable. The probe's detectors registered a sharp drop in solar particles and, at the same time, a dramatic spike in galactic cosmology.